Hey everybody, this is Sharon Koenig of fearlesspursuits.com and welcome to another episode of Fearless and Power Tube. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 health and fitness things that have impacted my life the most. So, first off, a little disclaimer. I am not a doctor, and anything that I am sharing with you is simply what has worked for me and countless others, obviously. And I want you to know that any information that you would get regarding your health and fitness is really your responsibility to do the research, check it out, and go and see a doctor if need be. But let me tell you that the things that I am sharing with you have been considered healthy by a great deal of many well-known people, doctors included. So let's get started. The very first thing that I want to share with you that has been a tremendous game changer for me with my health and fitness is something called intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is something that's a little bit controversial here. So understand that it's not for everybody and that you really want to experiment with it if it is something that you're interested in it. So what is intermittent fasting? Well, specifically it's fasting longer than what you would normally fast. So what we were told many years ago is that we needed to eat our breakfast and we needed to not skip breakfast. It was a very important thing because of a hormone called ghrelin. So this is something that is important, but more importantly, as we get older, the human growth hormone is decreased. So this is something that you want to increase. Number one, if you are over a certain age, maybe 30 or 40 or even 50, because you want your metabolism to be hyped up and fired up so that you can burn fat and even gain muscle if need be. It's really important for women who are carrying a little bit more cellulite on their back end because it helps burn fat, as I was saying before. So this is something where you would normally skip your breakfast or have your breakfast very late. So for example, what I do is I have my last meal ending at about 8:30 in the evening, and then I won't eat until about 12:30, sometimes 1:30 the next day. So intermittent fasting can be very beneficial for someone who would do it maybe once or twice a week even. You can benefit from the fat burning and the muscle gain from that little amount of intermittent fasting. So I will do it probably about 4 or 5 times a week because I typically have my party day or cheat day on Saturday night. So there is a little bit of a caution for you. If you are already battling, let's say that you are a female and you are battling with hormones that are a little bit offset, you want to make sure that you get your hormones checked and get them in alignment first with your progesterone and your estrogen, because intermittent fasting is going to affect your human growth hormone and it could impact you negatively with your female hormones. I'm very blessed that I have some pretty good hormones working with me. My female hormones are all in balance for the most part, and I am benefiting tremendously from doing intermittent fasting. I am lean and I am able to put on the muscle mass. For the record, I'm 5'1", 109 pounds, and pretty little in stature, and for a female, gaining muscle is not easy to begin with. But you want to have a certain amount of muscle on your body so that you can process your food faster, and you want to be able to burn your food so that you're not putting on the weight. So that's one of the reasons why a female needs to have a certain amount of muscle mass. It's also really terrific for helping you with your hormones and in general for your muscle mass. So the number 2 greatest game changer for me in my health and fitness that has made the most impact in my life was going vegan. That was something that I battled for a really long time. I knew all of the benefits of giving up meat and dairy for many years. But some of you may or may not know, if you've been following me, you know that I have competed in the physique competitions in the past. So it is so common in this day and age in general for us to think that it's normal to have meat all day long. But most importantly, when you're considered a bodybuilder, a competitive bodybuilder in any of the physique competitions like physique or fitness or bodybuilding and even bikini competitions, it's not unusual to have 4 ounces of 5 ounces of meat several times throughout the day. You're going to have cottage cheese and whey protein, and those things are very normal for our society today. So I battled that for a really long time because I thought that that was normal, and I thought that I was going to lose muscle and I would not be able to keep the amount of muscle mass that I prefer. I really like having that nice chiseled look, and I like being strong, and I really was worried that I wouldn't be consuming enough protein, and I was going to be a weak, skinny vegan. And that this is what we're told. So I had had enough one day and I wanted to give it a try, and so I did. And let me tell you, the benefits were just day and night. It was just so drastic. I lost that last little bit of fat right underneath my tush and around the saddlebags, because as a female, typically this is where we hold it. We hold our fat right around their derriere and the thighs. And when I went vegan, that was a thing. It just came right off, and it stayed off. And my body has been more clean because of the more raw foods that I've been eating. I do a lot of raw for the first part of the day. Not every day, I don't do that. But a good part of my week, I will eat raw for most of the day until my dinner. But having the legumes and the more healthy grains and having more fruits and vegetables, what has been said by the news and the doctors is that this sort of thing helps clean your colon, it helps clean your body, detox, and boy, they're not kidding. It has been a tremendous game changer for me. And something that I had been experiencing for a long time before I went vegan was a bloated tummy. And as it turned out, after years and years and years of consuming milk products, my body, like many people who are getting a little bit older in life, I developed an adverse reaction to consuming milk products. So every time I would have any kind of a whey shake or anything like that, or cottage cheese or even yogurt, I would get that bloated feeling. And I was really sad because as I was getting older, I felt like, oh gosh, I'm losing my physique and things are starting to change. And I was really getting worried that this was my future. But when I made that change, that bloat went away completely. In the beginning, and there were lots of changes that I had because my body wasn't used to eating all of the roughage and all of the greens and everything. So I did go through a detox and a transformation that way. But I lost the bloating. I no longer have that big tummy and full of gas. It's not really uncomfortable anymore. So losing all of the weight and everything, and still maintaining the amount of muscle and strength. I still lift as heavy as I did when I was competing. And I still have people that walk up to me and ask me when is going to be my next show. So it has not been something that has reduced my muscle mass. So if it's something that you're considering doing, don't be afraid of it and experiment with it. It's really been wonderful for me. So the third thing that has been a big game changer was actually something that I experienced many years ago, and it was the bodybuilding lifestyle. Essentially, I did not understand how gaining muscle and doing cardio and all of those things factored into how youthful I was, how shapely I was, how fit I was. So when I went into the idea of gaining muscle, for me, it's always been about being as healthy as I can be. I know the bodybuilding lifestyle, for a lot of people, they have an off season and on season, eating a lot of food to gain as much muscle, and then they end up having a lot of fat, and then they have to lose the fat. But what we know is that when you gain and lose more than 10% of your body weight, is actually considered very stressful for your body. So that wasn't something that I engaged in for the most part. I think in the very beginning I did. And over time I realized, especially as I got older and older, it was really just draining on my skin. And that's not something that an older person really wants to engage in. So after a while, I just started realizing that for me, the bodybuilding lifestyle was all about being as healthy and as strong as I could be. So I really cut down on the amount of cardio that I was doing. I really like doing cardio every day, but it's more about my lungs and my heart. It's about keeping that circulation going in my body for my lymphatic system. Again, ladies, for your skin, you want to make sure that your skin is detoxed all the time by washing out all those the toxins in your body, especially for women that have a tendency to hold the cellulite in your thighs. Get your body moving. So think about it from that point of view, is just that it keeps circulating your body. So typically every day I'll do 15, 20, 25 minutes max, and that's all I do, like 4 or 5 days a week. But before, I was just doing that, and I wasn't even thinking about gaining muscle. I was of the mindset that, oh, I don't want to gain any muscle, I'm going to get big and bulky. And the thing about it is that women have a really difficult time with gaining muscle, period. And the reason why is because of our female hormones. So we start to learn a little bit more about our bodies and learning what we are predisposed to growing bigger than other body parts. So for some women, they don't want their thighs really big, and I can appreciate that. I mean, who wants to be called thunder thighs, right? So that would be one of those things where, you know, squats are not your friend, you know, not to the amount that you would think that you would do. In fact, we still have men, even today, I can think in the last week, where a man has said, well, you know, your legs, if you just do one leg day a week, you know, you'll have really strong legs. Well, for women, that's not true. We sit a lot, and we're not circulating the lymphatic system, we're not moving our body nearly as much, and that's where you get the cellulite. So the thing about it is that you really do need to gain some muscle so that you can be stronger. You don't worry about putting on too much muscle. Learn your body. It's a big experiment. Learn where you gain more muscle, and just ease off on that area. So if you are predisposed to having bigger thighs, then just don't do the squats nearly as much. Do some lighter weight in that area. But for the bodybuilding lifestyle, what that really means is lift really heavy and make sure you're taking really good care of your diet so that you can push that weight out. And this way, what happens is your body becomes a fat burning fuel machine. At least it is for most people that are lifting weight, because the more muscle you have, the more that you can process the food. So that has been a big change in my life for my health and fitness. So the next thing that I want to share with you is something that's actually very simple, but it has been a tremendous help for me, and that is consuming probiotics. Who would have thought something so simple like that would have been such a big help for me? But we know that we're consuming things in our diet, especially if you're eating meats and sugars and things like this. It messes up your intestines like you have no idea. It really does. And then some people are just genetically predisposed to having maybe slower intestines. So it's really, really important for you to make sure that you have probiotics in your fridge all the time. Have them every day. And let me add that if you go out to dinner at any restaurant, you can never know the quality of food that you're consuming. Like MSG, right? You know what that is. I am not a linguist. I have always had trouble with long words, so just laugh at me. But anyway, you know what MSG is. I can't remember exactly how many different types of MSG there are, but I believe it's somewhere over 30. So what that means is that you just don't know what they're putting in your food, and it's messing up your gut. So there is that gut-brain connection, so you get that fog, you feel kind of sluggish. So consume the probiotics, especially when you go out for dinner, so that you can just make sure that your body is staying clean. And ladies, you want a flat tummy, and the bloating is not something that's super attractive, right? So make sure that you have a good, strong probiotic in your refrigerator. Now that is not controversial. I don't think too many people could dispute that. Probiotics are really good for you. And let me tell you, if you want to have that flat tummy, you won't regret it. It's been a huge game changer for me. In fact, that would be one of those supplements that I just can't stop buying. You know, there's some supplements that you think, do you really need that? Creatine is one of those that bodybuilders tend to consume so that they can help push through their workouts. That would be something that I would say is not really necessary. Probiotics is one of those that you need to have every day. And the fifth game changer that has really impacted my health and fitness was healthy fats. Who would have guessed? Healthy fats has been something that has changed my health and fitness tremendously. So it's one of those things that a lot of people miss because they're not overly concerned with their outward appearance and their heart and their skin and all of that. Well, the thing about it is like your flax and your chia seed, those kinds of things. I know a lot of people are interested in having fish oil, and you understand the omega-3s are very important for your heart. But understand that it's also very important for your skin, hair, and nails. So you'll see some people that have like little red bumps on the back of their arms, and that would be something where they're deficient in having healthy fats. So again, with somebody who is aging, for example, or you know, your aging starts in like when you're 25, 30, you start to see people who are getting more wrinkles around their eyes, and their hair is more brittle, and their skin just is not as glowing and as supple as it once was when they were in their teenage years. Well, it starts earlier and earlier for us because we just don't eat very well. So healthy fats has been a tremendous game changer for me as I've tried to hold on to my youthful appearance and feeling really strong. So we already know omega-3s are amazing for your brain and for your heart, your blood, and everything. But also, how about looking like you're healthy? So healthy fats, your flax, and your chia seed, that's something that you want to consume every single day. And I used to be afraid of eating healthy fats because I thought I was going to get fat. I thought that all of those things were going to compound and add on lots of fat. But the interesting thing about it is that it doesn't. If you just have a couple every day, it will really add to your youthful, healthy appearance. So I hope that my 5 health and fitness secrets have been helpful for you. So if you are interested in having a comment, please leave your comments below, and I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.